Well, well, well. They all seem to love the prosecutor lady. The nice lady from San Francisco. They all just seem to love, love, love the prosecutor lady. Well, there's only one thing I have to say about that. Why so serious? Get in the game. It's fun. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where the waters part. We can see which side is which. On this side, we have the blue meanies. And on this side, we have a rainbow. We have a big rainbow ocean. Just, wow. This energy, you just want to put yourself against the speakers and just let that hit you for a little bit, man. I bet you just gonna be like Superman going up to the sun, man. Or getting a big charge from Thor if you're Iron Man. It's good stuff. It's good stuff, and I'm sure if you're wearing a red hat and you're looking over to the other side and you get Nietzsche. I don't want to do what they're doing. Go. Follow your heart. Follow your intuition. Follow the good feeling. Because that's where it's at. You can't deny that there's a huge amount of energy coming from the nice lady from San Francisco. She brings the joy. Now, I'm speaking about this not because I love politics, because this stopped being a politics problem a long time ago. It is more like a social problem.
And in this social problem, an experiment. What do you want? It's my second language. An experiment. There I go again. An experiment was handled without anyone knowing. I mean, really, it was a social experiment. Yes, I said it right.
Because now we can see who's who. It was I don't know, it was one of those things where, like, I spray my little Bubba because it's the summer and, you know, sometimes he's covered in fleas and the poor guy has such a horrible time. So I spray with this beautiful, wonderful spray that I've done. Anyway, these things, they come off the skin and come up to the surface. You can actually see these things just kind of rise up and you're like, oh, you little bastards, get away from my baby. But basically that's what this was. These last 3 weeks is letting the good stuff float where it needs to float, and the other stuff is staying off behind as if too dense to follow. So follow the light. I mean, a beautiful old teacher that I knew, and I say old because she was an older lady, but she had a huge amount of wisdom, and she said that the angels fly because they take themselves lightly. So there you go. Follow the light, because it's this doom and gloom. It's just too much. It's just like, okay, so fear can, infiltrate your system and pretty much dominate every single function of your life. Yes, that's true. But it's so old. It's so old that when this pretty lady from San Francisco showed up, people just responded. It's like, yeah, my light, your light. Whoa, look at this. We're lighting. We're flashing each other. I mean, It's pretty obvious. If anybody is an audio master, please take a few readings of the crowds, because I mean, it's not like we're obsessed with crowd size, but it's pretty obvious. I mean, it is loud. Not just loud, but I mean, the energy coming off. Like I said, you just want to be exposed to it. I mean, who wouldn't want to be exposed to it? I mean, the other side is pretty much, they know it. It's worrisome. When it feels that way, that's the wrong way. It's about learning and not going back. There ain't no going back, Bob, like they said in the Walking Dead. There's no going back. We are too aware. We are too aware, and these fear tactics are not working, and they're out of ideas. And again, I go to biology to find out why this happens, because hate makes people dumb. Hate hacks away at your body. Imagine that your body is so benign, so full of light, that when this stuff gets in, it makes it sick, and it lets you know. It makes you feel crappy, but these people can't put two things together that, oh, maybe it is the way I'm acting. No, they just probably take something or ignore it or just drink themselves to numbing, But the point is that by turning away from it, they continue on this trail of suffering and pain and fear. And a lot of people are really just scared to leave fear. And that's basically the problem. It's a safety. It's like a floaty in the water. You're holding on to your floaty, and everybody is having a bunch of fun with the water, but they're mad because everybody else is having fun. Well, you can't do that. Why not? Because I can't do it. That's basically where it boils down to. These are fearful people who are holding on to the little floaty, and they're seeing the possibilities that what people can do in this ocean of vibration. So what do you do when you're in an ocean, or where you are required to deal with this stuff that you cannot hold on to, stuff that you cannot push off of, this stuff that just when you hold it, it's just, you can't hold it. It's very subtle, right? It's very fluid. It escapes you when you try to possess it. So then what do you need to do? You hold on to your life, like I did, like I used to do when I was starting to swim? Or do you learn how to negotiate that sea of vibration? Because when you think about it, the spirit is about 10 ounces or something like that? It's very light. So then why does a human being feel so dense, so heavy sometimes? It's all that crap we're holding. It's all that fear is just holding on to the safety floaty. You can just dare to not be afraid anymore, because the thing about it is that the belief is that being good is foolish. Oh, look, that smiling idiot. What is he so happy about? Because they think that fear makes you stronger. Fear keeps you sharp. No, fear just keeps you paranoid and sick. Always with a sense of anxiety, always with the looking over your shoulder. Always with that somebody is going to come and take my stuff. Always with competition. Always with, take him down before they take me. First of all, this whole bit about the stronger survives. Think about an oak. An oak is strong, yet it could crack under pressure. A bamboo stick is flexible. It can go either way. It just goes where nature goes to go. It doesn't resist. It just goes with it. Goes with the flow. Very wu-wei. Very path of least resistance. Very downstream, not upstream. I mean, the only thing that happens when you go upstream is you just end up in the bass, is it the bass? Salmon. The salmon swimming upstream. All that happens is that they end up in the mouth of a beast. They end up being food for something else. They end up succumbing for their voracity, their need to get somewhere, when, again, you can always swim against the current, but you're just going to be exhausted and you're not going to get anywhere. Like me, when I was just learning how to swim, I was flapping all over the place, not going anywhere, and exhausted, by the way. And then I realized I got to learn how to negotiate with this thing. So again, why are we so dense? Why are we so heavy? Because we're holding on. Let go. Be brave enough to let go. That is where the bravery is. It's to let go of what you know. Let go of that safety. Oh, I have to be afraid. Because if I get happy, if I'm good, they're going to take advantage of me. Because I'm going to be weak then. Weak? Baby? Love is like water. Love is persistent. It's consistent. It's relentless. And once it's on you, it's on you. No. No. Why take on something like that again where you're stuck? Where you're just in one place, you're not evolving, you're not progressing, you're not transforming into what you're meant to transform. I mean, a kid has to grow from kid to, this kid has to grow into something bigger, more eloquent, more educated, more elevated. So just like with everything. So the topic here, the subject is progression, is elevation, it's letting go so you can be taken to where life wants you. Once you learn how to negotiate, for instance in the water, nothing you need to do. You just raise your hips and now you're floating. So all of that I was doing before is because I didn't know. But then once I learned, I was like, that's all you gotta do? Oh. Then from then on, yes, I'm one of those a-holes who takes a lane and does like 500 laps. When I couldn't even do 5 seconds. I would end up exhausted. And not only that, it was terrifying to go underwater, even though I was in the swimming team. So for my swimming, my swimming buddies, back in high school, I'm sorry, I was trying. I didn't even figure it out until later, that you need to raise your hips. And there you go, now you're floating. You don't have to put any effort into it. Just like a bird, as soon as they put all the work in taking off, then they catch a nice little air wave and they're just gliding. No work. Just like going down the stream. Think about it. So I started speaking about this. I don't want to make this too long, but this whole energy thing, embracing the light, because it makes you feel better. It's invigorating, and you do better with the light, with love, with having that approach. So yeah, this is why the Nice Lady from San Francisco is having such a great success, and moving these masses of people, because they're responding to it, and we're not going to go back to the old ways. It's why do I bring this up again? Because it is a social phenomenon now, and everything that the United States, the rest of the world mimics. Ever since the 1776 crew, what they did, ever since, the other nations have always been watching, like, okay, what's the next step? Again, the United States, it's that shining house at the top of the hill. It is, and after Papa Joe, I call him Papa Joe, put us up there again, because before it was like a clown cart. You know, it was just horrible. The administration that Papa Joe had to repair. Basically, he ended up turning everything around, protected us all, you know. And those dark moments where everything just seemed like, whoa, you know, now we're even deeper in debt and all that kind of stuff. You know, everything was just, it was a mess, you know. And he turned it all around and again reestablished the U.S. reputation, you know. And still now people are watching and people are mimicking what's happening here. So when you see crowds of people being joyful and happy, especially rainbow crowds of people, then the rest of the world is going to emulate it. And it's not like we're trying to spread this ideology like they say that we're socialists and all of this. It's just this scary words. Again, it's always about the doom and gloom with these people. And again, now the waters are parted and we can tell the difference. But why do I say this? Because I live in this country. And because I'm Mexican. And they went and said all these things about Mexicans, you know, that, you know, all I gotta say after finding out that basically they're all criminally minded, they're all criminals, literally. They're all doing some, you know, crooked stuff, and they're so obvious about it too. You know, and now a lot of them are going to jail and stuff like that. So all I gotta say to that is, who's the criminal now? You know, because these people don't know anything. They just give you slogans. You know, they think about it. When you hear all their slogans, that just don't, you know that it was someone's idea. It was prefabricated so it could sound terrible, so they could just keep throwing it out there. And, you know, and repetition works. You know, this stuff ends up, you throw a lie around, you know, it becomes true all of a sudden, you know. But the point here is that because they don't know anything, you know, because again, I've had almost all the experiences that these people keep knocking down and saying that, oh, or demonizing, and I've been in all of them, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not the way it works. I mean, beginning with being Mexican, and I mean, we learn from the beginning that dishonesty or stealing or, you know, being crooked is not okay with God. And we're very religious people. We're very spiritual. This is before the Spanish showed up. We always revered our gods. We did crazy stuff for our gods because of misinformation. But there you go. That's the amount of faith that we have. We're a warrior nation. So we attack the days as such. It's like we're going to attack this day so we can win, not to lose. I mean, and when you think about it, that's the spirit of a lot of immigrants. They don't come here to just do okay. No, they want to do well. So what's wrong with that? You know, they have this intense desire to meet their fate here in the United States because they know that their ideals match. So let's go where our ideals match. Let's go where our work can be appreciated. Let's go where, you know, we can build a name and we can be respected. I mean, that's all really people want, you know, to be happy and at ease, and be, you know, proud of themselves. You know, we always have to be doing things that make us proud. Otherwise, we're just going to we will never be able to get away from shame, you know, guilt and all these crazy things that people have made us feel in the past, you know, is we carry this stuff with us, and, you know, that's not the way to go, first of all, you know. So, and then they're talking about, oh, illegals are voting. It's like I wasn't allowed to vote. I wasn't allowed to know anything when I was illegal. You can't do anything. You need documentation. And if you're going to vote, you need documentation that proves that you're a citizen. That's not easy to fake. So spare me with that one. You know, and then they start talking about people from the LGBTQ community, that they're evil and this and that. They're trying to turn your son gay. It's like, how do you know? Were you ever asked when you arrived on this plane, who are you? What do you do? What contribution do you bring to this planet? No. They just said, you're this, and this is what you do. Period. Okay. Never even gave you the chance to figure it out. So for those who have figured it out, how's that bad? They went and searched and found out, and they realized, well, if I'm all this, that means I have to be this. I can't be faking my way through life. I have to be me. And that, my friends, in a world of fronters, in a world of people who are always pretending that they are more than what they are, that is brave. That they go, okay, if I say that I am, then well, that's it. I'm going to get crap from everybody. I might even lose my job and all this stuff. This stuff is real for them. But they go, you know what? It doesn't matter. Because first of all, I have to be okay with me. I have to be okay with my spirit. I have to be me. You see, so that's again when honesty comes in. I mean, it's all about the free and the brave, isn't it? These people are plenty free because they're plenty brave. I mean, they should practice their freedom because they have earned it. They went where nobody goes. They decided, you know, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be just uniquely and extraordinarily true. You know, authentic. Not faking it, because even when you start to contemplate that idea of fake, it almost seems again like I'm struggling in the pool trying to stay afloat. Too much work. So since you don't know who you are, and then you know, when you're able to find out, you figure out, and you will say, oh, this is me. That is not a bad thing. That is a brave thing, and only the free and the brave belong in this country, not the whiny and criminally insane. The criminally insane, they go to rallies in the middle of the day, like, do you have a job? And, you know, they're all drunk and high, and they're all wearing the red, white, and blue as if it is a power costume that you just put on, and then you're just able to say whatever outlandish, stupid thing that comes to your mouth. Or it's my first right, you know, it's my right to say that, you know, it's a First Amendment right. Yeah, that is to speak truth to power, not for you to just say stupid stuff. But with all the alcohol and the sunburn, you look all red. With the red, white, and blue, you look like a clown. No, it is not the same as when the Olympic athletes drape themselves in the American flag. Olympic athletes that keep getting crap from the other side. They just keep getting crap from them. And it's like, where I come from, Mexico, I think I mentioned that I'm Mexican. Where I come from, that's treasonous. That is putting down or attacking your own. Like, what the hell is the matter with you? That is, I would call it un-American. So that's that, because I mean, when you think about it, all of these, look at the Olympic team, the American Olympic team. What do you see? You see us. You see all of us here in the United States. You see a rainbow of people. All of them with immigrant blood. Because unless you were Native American, you immigrated here, like I did. Even though I was just tribes south, I still had to travel here. So yes, we're all immigrants here, you know? And all of the members are carrying that blood within them. That immigrant blood of strength, of drive, of purpose, of reaching for excellence, because again, we don't come here to do okay, we come here to do well. So there's always a search for excellence. Immigrant hunger. That's all pretty obvious when you look at the performance of the American Olympic team. And you know me about the Olympic team, you know, I mean, I fell in love with the American Olympic team back in 1984. That's how I fell in love with the United States. That's how I started manifesting my arrival here. And ever since I've been here, I've been doing nothing but just trying to make a name for myself. because all immigrants come here to triumph. I mean, because you require that type of intensity to make a trek out about it. You see what I'm saying? That is the ideals that this country holds, from the beginning. That these ideals that make up this nation are the fuel that makes us take, or gives us the strength to make that trip, no matter how long, no matter how dangerous. It's something that it's not easy. And after all of that, to be accused that you're nothing but, again, when you consider the source, or basically you can't get apple juice out of an orange. What these people have to say is just all hateful, all negative, all doom and gloom, stuff that doesn't help, which reminds me of what Jimmy Carter said in the 70s. He was the first president, and Biden was the second one to talk to the nation, in one of those presidential addresses, because back in the 70s people were so cynical about everything because we've lost Vietnam, and they were complaining about their president, he's a peanut farmer, what does he know? And they were complaining about whatever, I think it was like a gas embargo. There was no gas, so there was a lot of things to complain, and all these people, that's all they did. So what Jimmy Carter said, pretty much, I'm paraphrasing here, just said, stop being cynical and get to work. If there's something you need to do, it's exactly that, help. Don't criticize, don't stand in the silence and just rip people apart. Get involved, because this matters to all of us. And Biden, again, Papa Joe went ahead and did the same thing, That's the kind of talk that we need, because certain people just find these freedoms, I guess, I don't know. It's like you give them a hand and they take your arm. You know what I mean? It's like more and more and more. It's like you spoiled little brat. Just because you were raised in the greatest country in the world doesn't make you the greatest person in the world. You still got to earn that. You still got to do some deeds to gain some respect, and they're just sitting there asking for it. So people are figuring things out. People are living their lives in peace, just like the one commandment that Jesus left, to love one another. And it seems like this rainbow of people are doing exactly that. They just want to do that. They want to love whoever they want. They want to marry whoever they want. They want to have the people around. They want the people around that they want. This is about no longer having to put up with. It's just like enough is enough. The waters have parted now, and now we know which side is which. This side doesn't know anything, because I just explained to you that they got nothing on the LGBTQ community, because they're braver than all of them. So in that essence, and because I personally have gone through it, I'm just literally figuring it out. I'm almost 50 years old, and I'm just barely figuring things out. Like, I don't even know. I'm not anything that what they said I was supposed to be. But that's because I was never given the chance to figure it out, and I'm just barely figuring it out. And I'm like, well, there it is. It has nothing to do with being evil and trying to turn everybody gay, or being a pedophile. That's the epitome of people who are out of ideas. Which, remember that? This is why we ain't going back. They might have abused us in the past. They might have gathered the whole town to burn us to the stake. But we ain't going back to that. We're too aware now. We're too savvy. So If you're on the fence, which I don't see how you would be on the fence, but maybe you are still wearing a red hat and you're looking over to where the fun is, I say you join, because it's better. Think about it and feel about it.